Hi, I'm Rich from Bellingham, Mass, and today I'm going to show you some basic facts about the skill saw, the circular saw. I've already showed you about some tools, and so I'm wearing my tool belt, got all my tools with me, and safety glasses. I should have showed you this before, but you know, it wasn't anything dangerous what we were doing before. So here is a basic circular saw. This is a Makita 7 1/4 inch circular saw. This is actually a commercial grade. I bought this back in the late 80s. And it's a beast. I've used it for everything, and I love it. You don't have to go out and buy commercial grade stuff. You can go to Home Depot or any place and buy anything you want. You know, $40 to $100. They're all going to work. They might not last as long, but if you're just a homeowner doing small projects, anything will work. And they also have cordless ones, of course. I don't have one to show you. Basic difference between the cordless and this one, besides the cord, is the blade on this one is on the right hand side of the saw. On the battery operated one, this is on this side of the saw. I don't know why, but that's the only difference. And some say that being on the left hand side is easier for, you can see the blade easier. You know, it's kind of weird. You have to look over the top of this one to see the blade when you're cutting. And also, see how it's not plugged in right now? So normally you wouldn't be touching this thing if it was plugged in. And it has some, get this thing out of the way. Always store it away nice and neat. This has some great features. This is all made of metal, no plastic. And this is just the guard, so when you put it down, the blade's still spinning. This has this nice, easy little latch here to make this go up and down. It's a little bit sticky, got a lot of sap on it. But this is important because if you're cutting through a board, you don't want it to be sticking all the way through where you might cut into something else or whatever, so you can raise it up any height you want, just lock it down. On the front, it has this adjustment so you can cut a miter, do 45 degree, and I found this one very accurate for cutting a 45-degree angle, very handy. And again, you wouldn't be doing all these things with it plugged in. So, the blades. This thing comes with many different types of blades. Right now it has a framing blade on it. And this is my old framing blade. See, it's all nasty and gross. This is what I use for cutting up pallets and cutting through nails or junky wood, you know, doesn't matter. This has many more teeth, as you see, so I use this more for cutting pine boards and trim boards. Does a nice, neat job without tearing up the wood. This would be for cutting paneling, maybe plywood. You know, it's much finer, doesn't rip the wood as much. You know, I don't use it that much because you're too lazy to change the blade. And this one is for cutting through cinder blocks and concrete. And these things are great. And you can get blades that'll fit your saw that'll cut metal. They cut everything. These things are great saws. All right, so I'm going to demonstrate how to change the blade. It's very simple. All saws have a very similar feature. I don't know if you can see that in there or not, but there's a little lever in there. Pushes in. It's a brake that holds the blade. So if I push that in and turn the blade, it just locked in. Now the blade doesn't turn. And make sure it's not plugged in when you're doing this. Don't ever touch the blade if it's plugged in. And just take the wrench. Your saw will come with a wrench. Some stored in the handle, wherever. If you lose it, use another one. And that's it. Loosen it. So the blade comes right off. This thing has a little keyway in it. It only fits on one way. So we'll take the new blade, and that's the way it's going to turn. Put the little locking washer on there. All the saws will have a very similar method. The battery operated ones are smaller, and that's it. Now, you don't have to crank this thing down like it's a lug nut or something. Just, you know, just snug it up. That's it. Now you got a new blade, ready to go. Turns in the right direction. You'll see there's an arrow right there. That's the direction that the blade will spin. So when you put the saw blade on, you want it to spin the same way, which is that way. All right? When they're new, they have arrows on them. You can see them. It doesn't take long for that to get worn off. So you just have to remember the blade cuts in the direction that that little arrow is. If you put it backwards, it just won't work. And remember, use your safety glasses when you're using these things. And don't cut your fingers off. It'll happen really quick. Thanks.